Okay, so as you begin building your business and you start talking to other people and inviting them to join you to do what you're doing, you're going to start hearing some of the same common objections as to why people might not want to do what you're doing, or they might be afraid. And typically objections, they're centered around somebody's fear of not succeeding or what others might think. And so I want to walk you through some of those most common objections. And the longer you do something like this, the more you're going to realize it's the same theme with every person. It just depends what season of life they're in or the kind of experience they've had. And so let me just go ahead and make you aware of what these are so that as you hear these objections, you know how to handle them. And chances are you probably had one or two of these objections, or it was something that was potentially holding you back as you were looking to start your own business. So let's go ahead and dive right into this, because here's the deal. You don't want to convince anybody to join, because if you have to beg them to join, you're going to have to beg them to stay. You're going to have to beg them to work day in and day out. And so you truly want to offer what it is we're doing and then allow them to decide to jump on board when they're ready. And a lot of times it's a timing issue. And so keep that in mind too. While you might hear some hesitancy or some resistance today, as long as you stay consistent and you keep inviting them to learn more or to join you, there's going to be a time in their life where they hit a transition point where things need to change and what you're doing is appealing to them. So that's another reason why you want to, keep the relationship growing and you want to be consistent with your follow-up. All right, so let's talk about the most common objections that I've heard in my time in the industry, and I don't believe these have changed. I believe this has been the same objections for decades. So the first one I hear often is, I don't have enough time or I'm too busy. And I get that, right? Because we're all busy, and adding one more thing to our schedule, you just think, how? How is that possible? Well, what I love about a business like this is you get to build it around your commitments and your activities and family life. And the best part is, now that technology has grown to the height that it's at and people are on social media anyways, they're always on their phone, why not get paid for doing that? Also, if I'm running my kids around to different events, I can build this business in pockets of times that maybe I'm waiting in line for them to come out of school, or maybe they're at practice and I can work while they're at practice, or perhaps I'm working a full-time job. Maybe I could build this on my lunchtime, or after hours, or before in the morning, waking up an extra hour early. Because what I know is that if you don't do anything different, nothing will ever change. And so I love the flexibility. You can work this business anytime, anywhere, as long as you're consistent with it. Another angle is, you're right. The whole reason we get involved in a business like this is because we don't have time, and we want to have more freedom of time and flexibility in our schedule. And it might require a season of life where you are doing more, so that there can be a season where you can do less. And a business like this is going to take, maybe a lot of work in the beginning for a little bit of results, but over time it's either the same amount of work for better results or less time, and all of a sudden you are leveraging the efforts of not just your own personal sales and growth, but your team's sales and growth as well. And so when I hear I don't have time, I like to dig into that and find out what their schedule looks like, so we can either find pockets of time where they could build the business, or maybe it's just not the right time for them. And again, it is a timing thing sometimes. All right, let's talk about when somebody says, oh gosh, I don't know a lot of people, or maybe I'm shy. What would you say to someone like that? I think it's okay that you acknowledge and you validate how they're feeling, but you also talk about the fact that they're going to be in business for themselves, but not by themselves. And ask them if they're on social media. Ask them how many friends or followers they have. Talk to them about how you're going to work with them to help build their network. And that with just a few friends and family alone, or a small network, we can build a substantial business, and then we will help walk alongside you to grow that network. That's what we're here for. And again, I love reminding people, you're going to hear me say it over and over again, because I want you to become familiar with this as well. You're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. You're going to be able to be your own boss, but you're not going to be out there navigating this alone, and we're going to work together when it comes to building that network. And social media has changed the game in our industry. And so, even I've heard people say to me, well, I only have 500 friends. Really? If I give you $100 for every name you could write down for potential people to talk to about the products or the business, if I give you $100 for each name, that would be a massive amount of money. So 500 would be an incredible start. So, start by maybe asking them who they might know that wants a little bit more time or wants to vacation a little bit more. And as people start coming to their mind, they're going to see right away that they do know more people than they realize. You can almost start helping them work their hundreds list before they sign up so they can see the potential that they already have. And it's a great way to overcome that objection. All right, how about when you hear, I'm not good at sales? I love that one. As a matter of fact, I often tell people the only sales experience I had ever had prior to joining this business was I'd sold some Girl Scout cookies in elementary school, and I had a few lemonade stands while my mom was having garage sales. Not a massive sales resume, and I don't know that I could get a great sales position with that resume. But you know what I love about this business? You get paid to share something you love with others, and if they decide they want to try it, guess what? You get paid. And I'm not a salesperson, but I always tell my friends and family when I see a great movie. I always tell my friends and family when there's a great new worship song out. I'm always telling my friends and family when I read a great book or I've heard a great podcast. And so again, if you just remember, this isn't so much about sales as it's about sharing something you love. You just get paid when you refer somebody to something and they also decide to use it or they fall in love with it too. And that's what this kind of business is all about. Another what I get all the time is I don't have the extra money to join. So I don't have the money to invest to get started. And, I think that's why people start a business like this is because they don't have money or there's too much month left at the end of the money. The Dave Ramsey plan is great, but where's the money to put into the plan, right? And so I find that, that's why people join a business like this is they need that extra income. And the best part is we can show them ways in which they can start returning a profit on that initial investment. We have ways that they can earn money daily, weekly, and monthly. And so if they're saying, you know what, I don't have the money, say, what if I can show you how to get the money or earn the money to pay for your kit in advance? That is one of my favorite ways to overcome that objection because we can get them into the profit zone within their first month, if not within their first week, if we're doing it right and we're showing them how to be successful. Okay, I love using another method called the feel, felt, found method. For example, if somebody says to you, I've never sold anything before, I'm not a salesperson, I would say, great, either was I. I felt the same way. And what I found was the more salesy you are in something like this, the more you tend to push people away. Just get excited about the products you love. Just get excited about the flexibility with the business that you love or what the business has allowed you to do. And you'll be impressed with how much sales you actually do bring in. You use that feel, felt, found method to turn an objection into a validation that you can then show them how they can overcome that. So again, objections are going to happen every day if you're doing this right, because you should be talking to somebody every single day about the business. And not everybody is going to be ready to do it right now, but you're planting a seed every time you contact them, follow up, continue to build that relationship, share what you love about the business or how this business has allowed you to do something financially or time-wise, or maybe even how the products have helped physically change your life. And as you continue to share that, you're planting seeds, and those seeds at the right time in their life will turn into a future business partner for you. So don't get bent out of shape when you hear the word no, because I have found that no never means no, not ever. It just means not right now.